Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, heavyweight prospect David Adeleye defeats Mladen Manev by a 4th round stoppage. Now, going into this fight with Manev, David Adeleye was coming off the back of a pretty poor performance against the heavyweight journeyman Kamil Sakalavsky, and in that fight, David Adeleye struggled mightily, and in my opinion, he was very fortunate to get the win on points. I felt David Adeleye clearly lost that fight, to be honest. So, going into this fight with Manev, he was coming off the back of a bad performance, and under certain pressure to make an impression. Did he do that? In my opinion, not really. To me, this performance against Manev wasn't terribly impressive. It wasn't bad or anything, but it wasn't the sort of performance which leads you to think that David Adeleye is a precocious talent in the heavyweight division. So yeah, I wouldn't class David Adeleye as a top prospect in the heavyweight division, but he started this fight, pouring with his lead hand, with his jab hand, and basically he was trying to set up that big right hand. He was just touching with the left hand, and then he would throw the right hand. And in the first round, he did land a couple of good right hands to body and head. Also a couple of good left hooks to the body as well. Manev tried the odd speculative overhand right and the odd left hook here and there, but nothing really landed for Manev in the first round. Round 2 was more of the same. David Adeleye touching with his jab hand, looking for the right hand, connected with a couple of good shots. Mladen Manev was being quite negative, just covering up. He would throw the odd shot here and there, but nothing too crazy. Third round, again, more of the same from David Adeleye, touching with his lead hand and looking for the overhand right, rinse and repeat from the previous rounds. And once again, he lands a few good right hands, a couple of good body shots as well. Manev not really offering much coming back, the odd flurry here and there, but nothing was really getting through from Manev, and when it did, it had no effect on David Adeleye, and the 4th round was where this fight ended, and the ending was somewhat peculiar. Adeleye started out this round a bit more aggressive, throwing shots, and it looked like they may have clashed heads up close, because at that point, Manev backed off, basically touched his eye like he was hurt. He was debating going down, and he was looking to the referee for the referee to call break. Adeleye smartly jumped right on him, landed a couple of shots, and then followed up with a right uppercut which dropped Manev. At this point in time, Manev wasn't happy, he beat the count. Manev at this point actually throws a few shots back. Both guys are swinging wildly. Adeleye gets the better of the exchanges, and a few moments later, David Adeleye catches Manev. With Manev's back to the ropes, he basically landed a real nice left hook, which dropped Manev, and then the referee waved it off, and rightly so. So yeah, 4th round stoppage for David Adeleye. I've seen all of his fights so far, and like I said earlier, I can gauge that this kid is quite strong. Hits relatively hard. I do like that he tries to go down to the body, but to me he looks very mechanical, a little bit predictable, a bit cumbersome at times. His approach is one-dimensional. I want to see much more of a jab from David Adeleye going forwards. He needs to develop that lead hand far more before he steps up, because all he really does with it is pause with it. He doesn't really throw that jab with any authority, and let alone varying the jab going from body to head. There's a lack of a jab there from David Adeleye, so he needs to add that to his game and improve upon that going forwards. That's one big area of improvement for David Adeleye. And ultimately the guy's quite young still. He's 23, 24 years old, whatever he is. And, definitely no rush with David Adeleye. I certainly wouldn't write him off, but at the same time, I don't really see this guy as a precocious talent, to be honest. And, in regards to his next fight, I think the right fight to make is the Kamil Sakalavsky rematch, because there's unfinished business there. Most people who saw that fight felt that Kamil Sakalavsky won, so I think they should do that rematch between Adeleye and Sakalavsky, and then gauge from there where David Adeleye is at. But yeah, all in all, it was an okay performance, displayed some good power, some nice variety with his power punches. I liked how he was, landing the overhand right to the head, the straight right hand to the body, the left hook to the body, the right uppercut. I like the variety in his power punches, but the setup game really isn't there. He is quite predictable at times, kind of slow and telegraphed. So, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. It was okay from David Adeleye. But share your thoughts below. What do you make of Adeleye? How far do you believe he can go? And who should he fight next? Share your thoughts below. Peace.